When this foundation first launched, I wasn't super interested in buying it and trying it out, but then I saw quite a few different tutorials and reviews on the foundation from different people here on YouTube that I trust who have different skin types and also different preferences, and they all seemed to like it. So I got suckered in to purchasing and trying the Natasha Denona Hy-Glam foundation. This is her brand new foundation she just launched. I bought mine from Ulta. This retails for $52, so that's pretty pricey, pretty hefty of a price tag. There are quite a few claims on this foundation. On the box here, it says that it is medium buildable coverage, radiant blurring finish, self-setting formula, short and long-term hydration. It's supposed to balance excess oils, be hyperallergenic, non-comedogenic, safe for sensitive skin, long-lasting up to 18 hours, talc-free, suitable for all skin types, and it is available in 52 shades, which is quite a lot of shades. So if you ever struggle with finding your shade in a foundation, hopefully you can find one in this range. I did go ahead and pick up N2, which is the shade of the concealer I also own. A couple more housekeeping things. It is a 12-month shelf life. It was formulated in Korea, but made in Italy. So two good places for makeup for sure. I'm going to be completely honest with you though. I do not think I'm going to like this foundation, which you're probably like, okay, why did you buy it then? The reason why I'm not sure if I'm going to like it is, one, I don't love the concealer formulation. I really don't. It's a little bit drying on me, and I don't think it's as full coverage as a bunch of people claim it is on them. Also, I've seen this foundation compared to two other foundations. The first one being the NARS Radiant Longwear foundation. I tried that a couple years ago and it was horrible on me. It was one of the worst foundations I've ever tried. It was literally so terrible. I returned it, and I like hardly ever return makeup. I remember it being like super drying and flaky, but also looking oily at the same time. And then also the House Labs Triclone Skin Foundation. I tried that a couple years ago as well and didn't love that one either. Both the foundations it's been compared to, I don't like it. So we shall see if I end up liking this. I am going to start off with the Touch in Sol No Problem Primer. I am back on this primer. This is an oldie but a goodie. I've been using this for years. I think this is my third bottle of it. It's a beautiful smoothing primer that you can put all over your face. Sometimes smoothing primers, you really can only put them like in your T-zone. This one you can obviously put all over your face like I'm doing, and it really does just smooth out your skin, give yourself a little bit of a filter. I feel like it helps with my the wear of my makeup as well. The shades are supposed to correlate. So whatever shade that you have in the concealer that you like is supposed to match the shade of the foundation. I accidentally bought N2 both times. I didn't realize, like, what I mean by that is I ordered N2 in this, and then I got it in and I looked at my concealer and I was like, oh, this is also N2. That would make sense. I probably should have looked at my concealer before I bought it, but it ended up working out anyways. Didn't even show you the bottle though. It's a really nice, like, smooth frosted glass. The top is a soft touch. It's weighty, it's hefty, it's luxurious, it feels nice. So I do like the packaging. It's got a nice pump on it. So let's go ahead. I haven't even pumped this out or anything. I'm hoping the shade works. Oh yeah, I definitely think that looks like it'll work. So it is a more runny, serum-y consistency, which that makes sense because it is the Hydrating and Blurring Longwear Radiant Serum Foundation. So let's go ahead and I'm just gonna put a little bit on. Oh yeah, that's a great shade match for me. Nice. A little bit on my skin. Okay, and then we are going to take my sponge. I am a sponge girly. I don't love a foundation brush. I feel like it just makes my skin look dry, no matter what foundation I'm using, no matter how I prep my skin. So I definitely prefer a sponge. Okay, this is blending and very quick and easy. Yeah, that's a good shade match. Maybe a little bit orangey, yellowy, I don't know, but I do think it matches me pretty well. So if we are normally a shade match, N2 looks like it'll be a good one. Okay, so this is what one layer of the foundation looks like on my skin. I do think it has a radiant sort of look to it. My skin does look glowy. I don't think it looks necessarily like oily or greasy. And I will say the lights in front of me always emphasizes the glowiness of my makeup. In real life, I don't look as glowy as like these studio lights. Well, not really studio lights. I'm not that professional, but the lights that I have on me right now. But it definitely provided some coverage, not necessarily full, which is fine. It does say medium to buildable, so I am going to try to build it up. But it's looking good so far. It is a little bit dry on my nose here. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, just a little bit of dryness, nothing terrible. And I have had a runny nose lately. Ivy got sick, so naturally I'm probably going to be getting sick. I feel my body like fighting it off. So I have been blowing my nose. So my nose probably is a little bit more dry than normal. But yeah, that's looking good. I am gonna add another pump on the back of my hand and try to build up the coverage, especially on my cheeks. That's where, like, and my chin, that's where my redness is. I don't really think I need any more on my forehead, so I'll probably not add any more up there. We're just going to see if I can build up the coverage, cover up a little bit more of that redness I've got going on in my skin. Okay, so this is with 2 layers. I do think it built up quite a bit. You can still see a tiny smidge of my redness down here, but really that's just like redness and freckles that are peeking through. You know, I'm trying to learn to accept that about my skin and just not try to completely blank out my skin and cover everything up. So I actually don't mind this level of coverage. I actually think it looks nice on me. I did not use that whole second pump, if you see. So I probably used about 2 full pumps on my face, is about what I would assume. I do feel like it's already going into my smile lines a little bit. I'm gonna set it down with powder. It says it's self-setting, but I always set my face with powder. I never not set my face, so I'm not going to test out that claim, but still looking dry on my nose, sitting a little tiny bit wonky on my chin, but nothing terrible. It's not looking dry on my forehead, which is nice. A lot of times foundations look dry on my forehead and it's not. So that is a thumbs up for me there. But yeah, it's looking good. I am going to add a little bit of concealer. I'm assuming these are going to work perfectly together because they are, you know, made to go together. So, going to blend the concealer in, see how they merge together on the face and the shade match. Yeah, makes sense. They're both N2. They work together pretty perfectly shade match wise. Yeah, I just don't feel like the concealer has a ton of coverage for me. Like I can still see my blueness peeking through. I'm gonna add a tiny bit more, but I mean, it's blending in really seamlessly with the foundation on my face here. If I was not doing a foundation wear test kind of situation, I probably would add some more concealer on like down here and on my chin just to cover up a little bit of the redness, but I'm not going to today, just to see like if the coverage stays, if it fades away at all. I have a feeling this is gonna wear well on me. It wasn't really the wear time that I was concerned about with this foundation. It was more how it looked when I first applied it, because those other 2 foundations that it was compared to, I didn't love how they looked when they were applied. Do you know what I mean? So I'm actually very impressed with this. I like it more than I anticipated liking it. I will say I don't know if the blurring claim is necessarily true on my skin. I'm still seeing all of my pores here in my T-zone, and I did use a pretty smoothing primer with that No Problem primer. So I am still seeing my pores pretty prevalent in my T-zone, especially like right here on my cheek. So I don't know about the blurring claim. The medium buildable coverage I agree with. The radiant blurring finish, I mean, it is radiant. It's glowy, but not in like a too oily or greasy way in my opinion. So yeah, I am liking it more than I thought I was going to, which I'm very, very excited and happy about, especially for the $52 price tag. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my makeup. I'll come back on and show you it in natural light, how it's looking like in natural light and not like these studio-ish lights I got going on. It is 10:20, so I put this on probably about 10. We'll just call the start time 10 a.m. for you guys. So yeah, let me go finish the makeup and I'll be right back. Okay, it's not the brightest day outside. It is a little bit gloomy, but here I am in front of the windows behind me so you can see in natural light. The foundation looks really pretty. It really does. Everything blended over it nicely. There wasn't really any patching issues. It's set down nicely with powder. It does still look a little bit dry on my nose like it did previously, and it's looking a little tiny bit wonky on my chin, just like not sitting super perfect on my chin, if that makes sense, but my chin is kind of my problem area anyways. I'm curious to see how this wears throughout the day, if it breaks up on my chin, because that is, if foundation's gonna break up anywhere on me, it is my chin. It is still going in my smile lines quite a bit, but these things are kind of gnarly. So looking tiny bit cakey on me, a little, just, I don't know. I'm definitely being nitpicky and picky right now. It is looking a tiny bit cakey on me. However, I don't think this lighting is the best right now. And I'm also used to wearing less makeup than this. I have not really been wearing this much makeup or this much coverage in a while. So that could be it too, just my perception of it versus what I've been used to wearing lately. So I don't have a super strenuous day. I am going to work out here in a little bit, and if the weather holds off and I have time, I might try to go on a walk outside or on my walking pad. Either way, I'm gonna try to get a walk in at some point today. Can't make any promises if that's going to happen, but I am for sure going to do a leg workout. So I'll probably get a little sweaty during that. It's about 10:45 right now, so I will see you in a couple hours for a check-in. All right, it is 3 o'clock, so we're here for our first check-in, and really our only check-in, because then I'll just do the check-in at the end of the day. So first and only check-in. So it's been about 5 hours. It's looking pretty good, guys. It's looking pretty good. I did not end up going on a walk. However, I really only was going to go on a walk to get sweaty, to try to see like how this foundation would handle that. But then my leg workout, I got very sweaty. So I think I accomplished that in the sense that if like you live in a hot climate, or maybe you're a teacher and you're running around all day, or just anything, you know what I mean? Like you have a job that you get a little sweaty in, or any situation like that, I wanted to show how it would react. And I feel like I held up pretty well. So for 5 hours of wear, it's looking really good, like all right here. It's looking pretty much the exact same as when I first applied it 5 hours ago. It is going into my smile lines, if you can see there. My smile lines are pretty gnarly though, so most foundations these days do go into them. Sometimes it bothers me, and then the other times I'm like, Emily, it's because you smile a lot. Like, it's okay. Like, you know what I mean? That's a good thing. That's a good problem to have. It's actually looking pretty good on my chin, which I am happy about. Maybe getting a little tiny bit oily on my chin, but other than that, like how it's holding up on my chin, it's holding up really well. The only place it's really breaking up at all is right here on my nose, like right here. But one, I have been like going like this a lot because I have a little bit of a runny nose. And when I was working out and I got so hot, I did go ahead and go like this with my shirt, and like wipe off the sweat. Sorry if that's TMI, but I'm just being honest. And so that probably took off a tiny bit of the foundation, but I was like sweating so much I like had to. Like I was trying not to do that for you guys just to see like how it would wear up, like hold up, and I couldn't not do that. So it is breaking up a little bit on my upper lip around my nose, going into my smile lines, but I don't know, it's looking pretty good. It's not like dry at all on my forehead. It's still looking a little tiny bit dry on my nose, but you know, it looked like that earlier. So yeah, I feel like it's holding my oils at bay pretty well. I really don't have super oily skin anymore, so the only place that my skin does get oily is my chin, and I see a little bit peeking through, but it also could have been from sweating. So yeah, honestly, I'm impressed for 5 hours of wear. I'm excited to see how it wears the rest of the day. I plan on wearing it until like 8 or so. So 5 more hours to have a total of like a 10-hour wear. I feel like that'll be a good amount of time for you guys. And so far, yeah, it's looking good. I am impressed. I'm liking it more than I thought I was going to. Side note, this is what I mean when I don't like the concealer. Like, do you see how like creasy it is? And it's like, it's just like not looking good on my under eyes, which is so funny, because I'm really liking the foundation, and they're supposed to be like very similar. So anyways, that's my check-in. I will see you in a couple more hours for my final check-in to see how it wore the rest of the day. Okie doke, it's about 8:30 at this point. So I've had on the foundation for about 10.5 hours. It's definitely looking a little rough, but I do still think it looks good for 10.5 hours of wear. I mean, that's a really long time to wear your makeup. I really don't wear my makeup that long anymore. I used to have to wear it that long when I taught and stuff, but now being a stay-at-home mom, I personally never have my makeup on that long. So I'm very happy with how the foundation wore today. It is looking a little bit more oily on camera than it does in real life, not in front of these bright lights. So definitely keep that in mind. Pretty much the same sentiments that I had earlier on. It's looking pretty good here along the edges. There's a couple like spots missing and all that, but honestly, that's from wrestling and playing with Ivy and rocking her to sleep. She loves to touch my face. And we had tacos for dinner, which are always messy. So, you know, keep that in mind. I do think my oils are coming through here in my T-zone a bit more, which is causing my pores to be a little bit more prevalent. I don't love that, but I still don't think it looks that bad. It is still going into my smile lines even more than earlier. It's still broken up on my nose and under it like it was earlier as well, and then broken up a little bit more on my chin. But really, I think that's from, like I said, playing with Ivy and eating tacos for dinner. So overall, I'm actually really impressed with this foundation. I like it way more than I thought I was going to. I really thought I was going to, I don't want to say like hate the foundation, but I really thought I was going to dislike it. So I am way more impressed than I thought I was going to be. I'm excited to wear it again, and you know that's a sign of something that you are enjoying, that if you are excited and you want to put it on again. Overall, on my first impression and wear test, I do think this is a winner. I'm glad I picked it up. I'm glad I spent the $52 on it. I still don't love and don't recommend the foundation, or I'm sorry, the concealer, but I am really liking this foundation so far. Please let me know down below in the comments if you have picked this foundation up and what your thoughts are on it, or if you plan on picking it up. The foundation, the concealer, everything else I have on my face will be listed and linked down below in the description box. I know I didn't really speak about any of the other products on my face, so if you are curious about anything else, it will be down there for you guys. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. You're awesome and I love you. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you have not yet, and hope to see you in my next video. Bye guys.